Chosen one, listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because right now, as you read these words, heaven is pulling back the curtain on why time itself feels twisted in your life. You're not crazy, you're not lazy, you're not lost. Something real is happening. Have you noticed how the days stretch out so long when the promise looks far, then snap shut so quickly when breakthrough comes? Have you caught yourself pacing the kitchen at 2 a.m., unable to remember what day it even is? Every clock whispering questions you can't answer. Every minute ticking differently when you dare to believe God's word? This is not normal time. That's because you're not living a normal story. Let me tell you what's happening. When you're marked, time doesn't play fair. Time bends, time taunts. It feels like you're standing still while everyone else is racing ahead. You see folks checking off their milestones, marriages, babies, new jobs, fresh keys dangling from hands that never waited. Meanwhile, you're stuck in the waiting room, doors locked, the calendar mocking you, the promises God gave you replaying on repeat inside your head like a broken song. You pray for one thing to move, but instead the week flips over, Monday to Sunday, and nothing changes. Every morning you look for a sign. You scan your phone, you check your inbox, still nothing. You wonder, God, did you forget what you said? Right now, as you read this, spiritual warfare is making the hours crawl and the months compress. You battle delays sent to frustrate you, to make you question who you really are. The enemy tries to make you believe your season has expired, that you missed your window, that everything precious is slipping through your fingers. Let me show you the trick. What feels like wasted time is actually holy preparation. Every ticking second is working something deep inside you, humility, wisdom, the kind of trust you can't fake. Listen to me. You are not behind. You are not too late. Chosen ones are always set apart, even in how time deals with them. Let me take you straight into the heart of it. 3 a.m., and your soul won't let you sleep. You've tried melatonin, you've counted the blessings, you've scrolled through social media until your eyes sting. But the ache won't leave. You watch stories of other people's breakthroughs, engagement rings, six-figure contracts, glowing test results. You think, what about me? Am I invisible? Your bedroom feels like a prison. Under the covers, your feet tingle with adrenaline. Your chest aches with disappointment. Your mind redraws every failure. You pray a quick, desperate prayer, but the silence after feels heavier than before. You get up to pee, drink some water, click through email spam you've already seen. Shadows twist on the ceiling. Your heartbeat is a clock nobody else hears. You bargain, God, if you give me just a sign, I'll wait. Give me proof that what you promised is still on the way. But the sign doesn't come. You lie back down, eyes wide open, sweating in the dark. Morning comes, sunlight sharp, and all the heaviness is still there. The people you see at work or in the grocery store, they can't read the fatigue in your eyes. Your smile covers the insomnia. Your laughter muffles the private panic. All day people call you strong, but deep inside you're just tired. Tired of hoping, tired of holding on, tired of running out of days. But the strange thing is, somehow you're also standing. The world hasn't crushed you yet. Let me break this down for you. There are consequences for being marked, and there are blessings that no one else can touch. Being chosen changes how heaven manages your time. Some doors are sealed until your character matches your calling. Some relationships stall out, not because you're broken, but because God refuses to let you settle. You lose jobs. You lose friends. You even lose interest in things that used to light you up. You try to force it. You send one more email. You apply for just one more opportunity. You reach out to that old contact, but it falls flat. Silence, not rejection. Divine restraint. If you'd received what you wanted 6 months ago, you'd have missed what's being built right now. Let me show you what this feels like with your finances. I know you've watched as people who cut corners seem to leap past you. But you, every time you think a door is opening, there's a delay. That deposit gets stuck. That invoice gets lost. Out of nowhere, a bill you didn't see coming wipes out your cushion. You pray for provision, but instead you're stretched thin. And in that stretching, something in you refuses to quit. You learn to live on less, and yet walk with more peace than you can explain. You become the expert at making not enough last until just in time. It's not just about the money, not just about what's missing. It's about the way God is training your hands for the promise that's ahead. You won't lose it when the big abundance lands because you've mastered contentment with little. Let me tell you about your relationships. It feels like everyone else is pairing off, moving forward, locking arms for life while you're in a season of forced solitude. Calls go unanswered, texts stay on read. People you thought would be there forever quietly fade. If it was up to you, you'd fix it, you'd chase them, you'd throw yourself into performing for love. But every time you try, heaven blocks your efforts. It's not punishment, it's protection. That person you can't get over, they're not on your level. That connection that fizzled was never meant to make it to your next chapter. The waiting is brutal, but right now God is cleaning your room, clearing your path, sifting your circle. When the right people enter, they'll see you, fully, truly. Right timing, not just any timing. Now listen carefully as I talk about health. Sometimes the strangest thing that happens when you're chosen is you start feeling things in your body you can't explain. You go to the doctor, test results come back normal, but you're weary, fatigued, tense in places nobody else detects. You lie awake at night, body trembling with stress, muscles locked, worried that the next phone call will bring bad news. You try stretching, yoga, supplements, but anxiety lingers. Yet, over and over, at the exact moment you feel like you can't get through another day, something supernatural covers you. An unexplainable strength surfaces. Healing comes, but in increments. Not all at once, slow, steady, permanent. And every scar becomes your testimony. Let me also show you what's happening with your reputation. People talk. They speculate about your delays, your quietness, your setbacks. Some imagine you're done, written off. You hear rumors, you sense the side eyes, the concerns. You try to defend yourself, to explain what God is doing, but no one understands. Then suddenly, overnight, the same people who doubted you have to watch your vindication. It blindsides them. The very ones who called you forgotten witness God's schedule overrule theirs. The glory comes late, but it comes bigger. Everyone who watched you wait must now watch you win. And through all this, there's a spiritual ache unique to you. The questions nobody else dares to ask, they drown you nightly. God, why am I still here? Why does my time feel wasted? Why did you show me dreams that look impossible now? And every time you think you're numb or done, you get a flash of hope. Just enough to get up, get dressed, face another weird, warped stretch of hours that don't behave like anyone else's. You realize that what felt like a curse has become a cocoon. The strange time, the delayed time, the drawn-out time, it wasn't killing you, it was keeping you. Chosen one, I decree right now over you, what they call delay, heaven calls design. What you felt as wasted time, God names divine process. They said you missed your window, but you're right on time for your miracle. The waiting didn't weaken you, it made you. The years the enemy tried to drag you through disappointment, every night spent aching, every morning you almost didn't get up, became weapons in your hands. The silence became your power. The distance, your clarity. The wilderness, your preparation. They wanted to see you defeated, but now they'll see you delivered. They wanted you embarrassed, but now they'll witness your elevation. They wanted time to shame you, but now time serves you. Suddenly, overnight, in the twinkling of an eye, your story shifts. You're not late, you're launching, you're not behind, you're breaking through, you're not abandoned, you're about to be announced. Right now, all heaven's clocks are set to your name. Let me open your eyes to what happens in the moment of reversal, when everything you thought was ruined flips in a heartbeat, when the pain of delay no longer haunts every step of your journey but becomes the very stage for God's power to be revealed. Chosen one, you've known the agony of reversal on the inside before you ever saw it in your reality. You've felt the shift begin in your spirit before one circumstance changed, before a single door opened. There's a sacred agitation deep inside, the restless certainty that something different is pressing in, that the heaviness you carried is about to become your harvest. People look at you and see the same story, the unchanged job title, the tired eyes, the still waiting posture. But only you know that something under the surface is being rewritten right now as you hear these words. Let me show you what reversal looks like. It shows up on an ordinary morning. You check your phone, and this time the message comes through. The one you had given up hoping for, an unexpected opportunity, a call back from someone who dismissed you months ago, a let's try again from the place that once said no. You freeze, unsure if you're dreaming, afraid to breathe too soon. But it's real, and it's only the beginning, because reversal is never one thing. It's a cascade. The things that held you back begin to release their grip, one after another. The money that was locked up suddenly arrives. The apology you never thought you'd hear lands, unceremonious but heavy with meaning. The silence that felt like abandonment shifts to a flood of support, of eager hands wanting to help, to invest, to be part of what you're building. Not out of pity, not out of surprise, but out of respect. The very ones who dismissed you are the first to reach back. They see the change, they feel the wind has shifted for you, and now they want in. You remember every night you spent in obscurity, and you realize heaven just turned the tide. But hear me, vindication isn't only about being seen. Vindication shows up in the way God preserves your integrity. The accusations, the whispers, the sideways glances. You remember every single one. You remember being dismissed, excluded from tables where you knew you belonged, left out of opportunities you were more than qualified for. You wanted to argue, to clear your name, to scramble for acceptance. But heaven silenced your instinct to fight for yourself, and now suddenly what was done in secret is coming to light. Not just the truth about your loyalty, your effort, your sacrifices. No, more than that, the world is about to know how much you refused to compromise. The ones who tried to profit from your silence now have to reckon with your resilience. There is an unveiling. Conversations once hidden in private messages get exposed. People who used your delays to build their case against you are confronted by what God allows to surface. Not by your hand, not by your mouth, but by the order of heaven. Let me break this down. Vindication does not come as payback, but as proof. Proof that standing still when accused is not weakness. Proof that waiting is not wasting. Proof that endurance is a weapon sharper than the words used against you. Vindication is watching every no from man become a yes from God. It's waking up to find the overcrowded timelines and highlight reels of others can no longer measure your worth. Suddenly, the delay that looked like a curse stands as evidence. You were trusted to hold out, to carry a heavier call, to resist every shortcut. But vindication alone is not the end. It's not enough to be cleared of suspicion, not enough to be free from the cloud of waiting. God didn't spend all this strange time on you just to put you back where you started. There is a commission coming to your name right now. I want you to hear me. This next season moves you from hidden to herald, from overlooked to overqualified, from recipient to representative. What tried to bury you has only built your roots deeper. What was meant to sideline you has equipped you with what no quick breakthrough could ever produce. This commission is not an assignment you can refuse. This is not just try your best. This is a mantle fitting itself on your shoulders. God is moving you from waiting to wielding authority. Let me tell you what your commission looks like. You're not stepping onto a stage with a script written by someone else's expectations. You're stepping into platforms, into rooms, into circles where your strangest wounds will be your greatest witness. People will ask, "How did you survive?" And you'll answer, not with formulas, but with the raw truth of nights spent on your face. You will be the anchor for others who are spiraling in their own lost time. You will recognize the agony of their 3 a.m. panic because you've lived it, tasted it, been marked by it. You will tell them, "I waited, and it wasn't for nothing." Your voice will carry authority in places where you once only had longing. Your story, once tucked away out of shame, will be summoned forward, not for your glory, but so God can parade His faithfulness. You won't have to make them believe. Your very survival will speak. Here's what you need to understand as you walk out this commissioning. You are being trusted with influence you could not have handled before. The rooms you enter won't collapse under the weight of your gifting. This time, your character will anchor you. You'll walk into opportunities that once terrified you with peace that confuses your enemies. You'll see tables prepared for you in the presence of those who predicted your downfall. Not out of spite, not for applause, but for demonstration. What God births in obscurity, He displays in public. The skills you sharpened in secret, writing that nobody saw. Ideas you jotted down just to survive the wait. Prayers that felt like they bounced off the ceiling now become the arsenal you use in daylight. The mantle fits different now. You don't flinch, don't shrink, don't hesitate. You know it's your hour. You know you can't miss what was made for you. Let me show you something more, something deeper. The humility that commissions demand. You've tasted loneliness. Now you'll be surrounded by people who seek your wisdom, your perspective, your steady hand. You'll be chased for counsel, trusted for insight, remembered in rooms where only your absence was noted before. But the secret aches you've carried through strange time will make you wise. Quick to listen, slow to judge, relentless in mercy. You won't build with bitterness. You won't respond with pride. The ones who return to you seeking help will find open arms, not locked gates. This is how your strange journey becomes sanctuary for the ones who follow. You bleed grace. You overflow with patience. And still there's more. Your legacy begins now, right now, as these words take root in your spirit. Generations will trace their own redemption back to stories you lived in silence. The children, the mentees, the strangers watching from far away. They'll borrow bravery from your delays, wisdom from your waiting, peace from your perseverance. You never wasted a minute. Heaven accounts for every second you wanted to quit and didn't. So I pronounce it now, as clear as morning, as undeniable as sunrise. This reversal will not be reversed. This vindication will not be erased. This commission cannot be canceled. No witchcraft, no gossip, no sabotage, no delay, no system, no power of hell can unseat what God has sealed in your timeline. The very clocks that mocked you now strike in your favor. The hours you feared would run out are resetting in acceleration. What felt like years stolen will be repaid. Peace comes. Momentum follows. Doors swing. Every dull and empty season becomes the foundation under your running feet. They wanted you sidelined, but you're rising. They wanted your mouth closed, but your voice echoes in places you never entered before. They wanted the record to show you failed, but heaven's archives say faithful. They wanted your energy spent defending yourself, but now you spend it building, blessing, breaking chains. They wanted your story to end in obscurity, but your name will ring out as a testimony for every silent sufferer, every late bloomer, every overlooked seed. Time itself bows to the one who created it. your God, your defender, the author of your days. Chosen one, step forth. You are not chasing minutes anymore. Minutes chase you. You do not fear the ticking clock. You command it. You do not dodge shadows. You walk in the center of your assigned spotlight. What once delayed you now delivers you. What once silenced you now commissions your authority. All has shifted. All has changed. All is moving overnight, suddenly, right now. Heaven's agenda is accomplished in you. No delay, no denial, no defeat. Step out and take your place. You're right on time. Let me speak straight to that trembling place inside you, the place that wonders, is this really for me? You've watched blessings land in the laps of people who never carried your burdens, and even in this moment of reversal, you hesitate to believe the tide is truly turning on your behalf. The residue of old disappointments tries to whisper, "Don't get your hopes up. Disappointment is safer than disaster." But I tell you right now, your heart is being rewired. You are not being set up for another fall. The pattern is broken. The cycles are finished. All that tugging between faith and fear every time you dared to expect and ended up with less. Those days have already ended, even if your mind can't catch up yet. This time, you get to keep what comes. This time, the promise will not slip through your fingers at the last hour. You've come out of the hallway of almost the season of near misses, and you stand with both feet planted in the place called right on time. Let me break this down for you. Vindication is showing up in waves, but it's not loud, not vengeful. It doesn't need banners or spotlights. Instead, it arrives on the wind, quiet yet undeniable. The people who gave you up as gone, who never bothered to check if you survived what they thought would break you, they start to notice it first. In staff meetings, at family reunions, in quiet prayer circles, your name creeps back into conversations in a different tone. Old stories get retold, how you bounced back, how you handled silence, how you didn't retaliate when you were provoked. They wanted evidence of your fall but can't find it. Instead, they find evidence of your faith. Let me tell you, their curiosity turns to respect and eventually to conviction. There are apologies, some direct, some disguised as random check-ins, just thinking of you. Hope you're well. And the ones who can't bring themselves to call or write, they silently watch your rise from afar. Your name in their mouth is a lesson, a sign that God still chooses, restores, repositions. And listen to me, chosen one. Vindication also means release. No more rehearsing rejection speeches in your mind, no more waking up sweating from dreams about conversations that never happened. The chains of bitterness fall off. You stop running simulations of what you should have said, should have done. You simply breathe, taste freedom, and know that season can't claim me anymore. Where once you sought closure, you now live in completion. You realize that forgiveness is not weakness, but territory reclaimed, breath by deep, peaceful breath. Let me shift you into commission. The strangest part is, it doesn't begin with a major announcement. Commissioning starts in the quiet rooms, the late-night thoughts, the steady internal sense that you are being prepared for more. You wake up before your alarm with anticipation. Your prayer language deepens. You see doors you used to bang on and beg for, but now you sense which ones to walk through and which ones to leave shut. Divine intuition grows sharp inside you. God pulls you in, shows you maps no one else sees, speaks secrets in the quiet. Your hands grow restless, ready to build, to write, to pour out because you have more than enough. You begin to notice your influence has expanded. People are drawn to your peace. Chaos loses its grip when you walk in the room. Let me show you how this commission brings authority. Not the kind that needs to be announced, but the kind that turns heads simply by walking in integrity. You'll see it in the way meetings shift when you speak, the way troubled hearts settle when you pray. Not just in church, not just in sacred places, but in offices, in hallways, in living rooms where hope once felt foreign. You'll get phone calls from people who never took your advice before, and now they hang on your words. Your insights, once ignored, are now vital. The wisdom you bled for in hidden places is now in demand. But here's where it runs deeper. Your commission will lead you to pour into others who are stuck in the time warps you survived. You'll spot the panic in their eyes, the way their prayers trail off into silence, and something ancient in you will rise with compassion. You will say, "The waiting is making you, not breaking you." The silence is not God's absence, but His preparation. You will stand in the smoky ruins of what they thought was lost and point to the new thing rising. You'll remind them that late from man is right on time for God. Let me walk you into the unexpected favor flowing with your commission. Suddenly, doors open of their own accord. Scholarships, grants, job offers, publishers, investors, names you never uttered in prayer, faces you never considered show up, eager to align with your assignment. Where you once handed out resumes and pitch decks to deaf ears, now invitations flood your inbox. Where you laid awake worrying about making rent, the provision pours in before the need announces itself. It's not just compensation, it's abundant overflow, and it doesn't spoil your soul. It humbles you deeper. Every penny, every partnership, every healed rift is branded with the sense that heaven itself ordained this timing. You know, it's not the hustle, not the networking, not a simple accident. This is what happens when God's appointments catch up to your obedience. You'll find reconciliation that stuns you. People you never imagined would return come back. Clients that fired you, mentors who forgot you, friends who ghosted you, even family members caught up in old grudges. One by one, they seek peace. They try to apologize in halting words, sometimes without saying sorry at all, just eager to sit at your table again. And you, the person who constructed walls to survive, now has the capacity to welcome, to restore, to be the bigger love in the room. This is the mark of a commissioned life. Peace grows everywhere you walk, and your heart builds bridges where others would have nursed old wounds. And still, deeper goes the healing. Your health that fluctuated with the strange seasons, your mind clouded by fear and insomnia, even your body that wore the marks of war, all begin to repair in the light of restoration. Blood pressure calms, rest returns. The nervous energy that drove you now translates into the focused strength of a runner who's found his pace. You sleep through the night, or if you wake, it's not panic but purpose stirring you. Chosen one, you are not just being released into new things. You are being physically rebuilt to carry them. Let me walk you to the final edge. Your life from here becomes a decree in motion. What you speak shifts atmospheres. What you refuse to say gates out old patterns. Younger ones come to you for guidance, and even elders recognize the mantle that rests on your life. You shape legacy with words, with actions, with sheer presence. You no longer need to chase down validation or waste breath defending your timeline. You are living proof that strange time is the proving ground of royalty, the waiting room of those about to step into rule. So I decree over you now, let this word settle in marrow and memory. The years that cheated you bow to breakthrough. The people who wrote you off must now write you honor. Where delay tried to devour, destiny delivers. What curses tried to start, blessing now finishes. You are not collecting scraps. You are inheriting promise. The minutes stretched but couldn't defeat you. Now they gather behind you, fuel for the future. May every hand that worked against you become a witness of what heaven built inside you. Those who hoped your story would end in obscurity will now be forced to watch your emergence. Your name spoken in rooms you have never entered, favor extended before you ask, healing that touches every wounded place. These are your portion now. You are not late. You are not denied. You are not overlooked. Right now, heaven has reset the clock on your behalf. Angels are reordering calendars, hearts are being softened. The commission placed on your shoulders cannot be revoked. Walk in it, chosen one. Walk out vindication. Fulfill the commission. Declare your decade begins now, not by time's decree but by heaven's. Suddenly, now, overnight, right on time. Let me take you into the moment after the vindication manifests, when even your daily steps feel different, as if gravity itself has changed for you. You carry yourself through hallways, down sidewalks, inside rooms where you once felt invisible. And there's a weight to your presence now, a holy authority, quiet but undeniable, that follows you everywhere you go. The ones who counted you out can't make sense of it. They squint to find the flaw, they rehearse old stories hoping to stir up rumors, but nothing sticks. The reversal is too complete, too public, too clearly designed for anyone to claim it just happened. They know, though they won't say it, that something bigger than luck or willpower or hard work broke through for you. Every door that resisted now stands open without a touch. Emails arrive that never would have years ago. Appointments shift to fit your schedule. The world tilts, even just a little, in your favor. Let me show you what happens as you step deeper into commission. You begin to sense the weight and responsibility of carrying this new season. The anointing on your life demands more, asks more, but doesn't crush you. It expands your capacity instead. Opportunities come like a flood you once dreamed about, but you don't scramble anymore. There's discernment now. You turn down invitations that once would have pulled you out of alignment. You recognize when God is elevating you, and you recognize when it's simply flattery with no substance. You do not waste your time desperately saying yes to prove your worth. Instead, you operate as if every moment matters, as if every meeting and every conversation is encoded with eternal significance. Because it is. Where you once begged for inclusion, now you are the one inviting, the one making room, the one setting the table for others who feel time has twisted against them. And listen, that new strength doesn't come just from vindication or opportunity. It comes from surviving every midnight test, every private war with discouragement and doubt. Every time you endured the mocking silence between promise and fulfillment, you didn't just store up pain, you stored up wisdom. You see right through people who are running in circles just as you did. You sense the panic behind their bravado, the ache masked by their jokes. You sit at tables with leaders who look unshakable, but you recognize the weariness in their eyes. You know the sound of someone silently counting the cost of waiting. There is nothing in this new place that intimidates you, not because everything is easy now, but because the old giants trained you for everything ahead. Your scars are the key that fits every locked door in this hour. You move with ease, peace humming in your bones because you learn to trust time in God's hands instead of your calendar. Let me speak about the surprising ways vindication reveals itself when you least expect it. Sometimes it looks like a gentle email, a halt in the gossip, a friend quietly circling back and asking for prayer. Sometimes it's obvious, a public recognition, a promotion, a feature, a contract that propels you into spaces nobody could deny. But more often it's in the unseen, resistance melting where there once was only challenge, complex issues resolving with a phone call, your name being respected where it used to be questioned. Vindication is not just about the world seeing your worth, but about you seeing your own value without apology. You live with your head held higher, not out of arrogance, but out of gratitude that God refused to let your story end in lack. You find you no longer apologize for your journey, no longer shrink yourself to fit the expectations of those who only honored easy success. And there's more. The commission now amplifies your voice. People you never met find you. They're drawn in by your story, needing what you've carried in silence. They ask how you kept going, how you didn't break under pressure, how you found joy in years when hope seemed ridiculous. And you don't give them platitudes or five-step blueprints. You give them honesty. You tell them about the nights the walls seemed to close in and the way you whispered desperate prayers until morning cracked the horizon. You describe the seasons when your bank emptied out and you ate leftovers with a prayer declaring, "Tomorrow, God will provide." You talk about the ache of absence, the jobs that fell through, friendships that vanished, the heavy hush of being misunderstood. You tell them how you lost yourself and still returned, how you found faith stubbornly growing where nothing else would. Let me tell you, this vulnerability does not diminish you, it multiplies your influence. The world is starving for honesty, for proof that those who endure strange time do not emerge bitter or hollow, but holy, filled, and alive. The very tears you shed become rain for new gardens in someone else's barren place. Even your voice shifts, calmer, stronger, marked by conviction that only seasons of trial can forge. Where you once looked for approval, you now expect alignment. Destiny arranges itself around you. Timing bends in your favor, not just for yourself, but for those connected to your obedience. Let me reveal this. When God commissions you out of a long delay, He redeems every moment that felt lost. Opportunities that should have come back then now come in greater measure and with more enduring impact. Connections that were denied or withheld arrive upgraded. The giftings entrusted to you are now sharpened, bearing fruit without striving. And sometimes old desires you thought were dead bloom again, restored, matured, refined in waiting so you can now steward them in purity and power. Even what suffered decay is resurrected. Friendships are mended, fresh vision bursts forth, creative ideas flow effortlessly. Where there was rot, now there is revival. Where there was staleness, now there is the sweet scent of new purpose. You begin to bless those who once wounded you, not as a virtue signal, but with real affection. You understand their blindness now. You see how fear and small vision once drove their distance or their cruelty, and you are free. Free to let them come close, or to wish them well and release them for good. The strangest miracle of all is how easy love flows from you now. Your heart does not rage. Your mind does not rehearse vengeance. Instead, you bless, release, rebuild. That is the final evidence you've crossed over into commission. You can love without strings, serve without seeking, give without calculation. Listen, your very existence is a sermon now. You don't have to strive to prove God's power. The evidence is etched in your longevity, your endurance, your laughter after storms, your presence after seasons that should have faded you away. No one can explain how you outlasted certain breakdowns except for God's grace. You walk in places you have no credentials for, but your permission is written in persistence and favor. Your name carries weight that couldn't be fabricated, couldn't be purchased, couldn't be networked into being. This is what happens when divine reversal leads to true release. Now hear this. You become a deliverer for others still trapped in the old cycles. You carry a torch in the darkness, calling out hope to the ones bent under old disappointments and ticking clocks. You expose every lie that late means forgotten, every illusion that delay means denial. You tell it straight. If you're still breathing, if you're still hoping, even with a trembling, stubborn hope, then God's not finished with your timeline. You teach with your scars. You lead with your testimony. And suddenly you realize legacy is building itself daily under your steps. So here stands the final decree I release over you, chosen one, in the sight of God and every watching spirit. The years meant to break you only built your foundation. The voices that labeled you forgotten must now whisper about your overflow. The tables you were denied are now set with your name at the head. No striving, no begging, no manipulation. What waited for you waits no more. What stalked your hope runs in fear. Every cloud of confusion lifts. Every shackle of bitterness breaks. Heaven shifts, abruptly, violently, gloriously, at the decree of your release. You are not a victim of wasted time, but a vessel of multiplied purpose. You are not late. You are the headline miracle of suddenly. You are not overlooked. You outshine every shadow. They wanted you small, but God made you expansive. They wanted you silenced, but your life now rings like thunder. They wanted your story to close early, but God ensured every chapter. Your mouth is a key, your prayers a hammer, your testimony a flag marking new territory. Walk forward, chosen one. The clock is broken open, the curse is reversed, the hour is right. Suddenly, overnight, unmistakably now, you dwell in the fulfillment of every strange delay. You live in the surplus of all that time tried to steal. You are announced, you are unstoppable. This is your permission, this is your unveiling, this is the hour of your reign.